Here we go. Thank you for tuning to my podcast. Wherever you are, however you've been listening, I appreciate it. Let's just dive in. Hope you liked the last episode. It was a little different. Me, being interviewed. But I hope you enjoyed it. It's a lot of fun. Got us some decent amount of views and listens, so I appreciate it. Now, this is just a real quick one. We're just going to dive into the Cowboys as their season came to a close today. I mean, it's been 26 years since the Cowboys have been to the conference championship game. So it's been a frustrating time. Real frustrating time for Cowboy fans. But I saw a lot of traction on IG and on Facebook and all that. So I decided to do a quick episode right now, and then just give my thoughts instead of typing on Facebook and replying to everybody. Before I get to that, my buddy Donnie Bedney had put a post up referencing what Al Harrington said about the difference between NBA players today and NBA players back in the day. So one, he was saying that guys really didn't get along, and they were enemies, and they weren't friends, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and so that's like the main difference in the competitive nature of players and things like that. Well, I don't know what I think about that. Here's my take, Donnie. You got to remember when Jordan played in the Boston Garden when he scored 63. I believe he played golf with Danny Ainge the day before. So we're not talking about summertime workouts and hanging out in the summertime. We're talking the day before a playoff game. So all this, they were, mortal enemies and they hated each other. I mean, that's just not true. Imagine if LeBron in the first round of the playoffs last year went to play golf or paintball or whatever with Chris Paul before the playoffs started. Just imagine what social media would do to him. What your Skip Bayless of the world and Stephen A. Smiths of the world, what they would do to him if he actually did that. So I get it, Al Harrington. It's like everybody in their own era wants to say how it was and how it was better and how it was more competitive and things like that. But that's the example right there where Jordan was playing golf and then the next day went and dropped 63. Another case is that summer when Jordan was filming Space Jam. I mean, he's working out with Reggie Miller. Of course, Dennis Rodman was there a couple of times. Patrick Ewing. So, no. Now, the big difference is these guys know each other at such a young age because of AAU and social media and how they travel. I mean, these NBA guys, they're rated top 10 by the time they're like in sixth grade. So when they're on the circuit, they're literally playing against each other. So they become friends. Nothing wrong with that. And it carries on into the NBA. I think, guys are competing, but they're not going to, beat each other up after a game or anything like that. And I guess some people, that's what they're looking for. But, it's different, But that was my take on that right quick. What else is going on in the world? Educators, keep your heads up. I'm an educator. I need to do a podcast on it. Actually, there's nothing like teaching today. There's nothing. We've lost a whole year of school last year, and like emotionally, kids are drained, and mentally, teachers are beat up and drained. But hang in there, even if you could just touch one. As you all know, I had my first graduating class last year. And a few of them came by my campus this year to speak to some freshmen and sophomores. It was just so cool to see. They're at TCU, and a couple of them that were speaking are at TCU, and a couple more at Mizzou. I have one that was speaking that's at Carnegie Mellon. and it was just cool to see the maturity, but also cool to see like wow, like the effort, the work that was done with those young people for so many years has paid off as they're doing some great things in their educational journey. But let's dive into these Cowboys, man. Number one, I'm a real fan, not a delusional fan. I got a buddy that I've been saying all year that the Cowboys going to shrink when it actually mattered. And I actually said at the gym today, I was at LA Fitness working out. This guy asked me, who was I going for? I told him Cowboys, but I think they're going to lose. He's like, man, I need you to get out the gym. I was like, hey, man, I'm just being honest. I don't think they're going to come through when it matters most. And, you know, what happens? I mean, here's my analysis where we, about 4 hours after the game ended. Number one, Zeke doesn't have a burst. He's overpaid. You don't draft running backs top 5 in the draft. You don't pay him big money unless you're Derrick Henry. I mean, look at Elijah Mitchell for the Niners running all over us, and he's like a 6th round pick. Dak, once you gave all that money to Dak, he's got all those weapons, and it's not his fault that they lost, but once Bosa went out, what is it, Warner, I think his name is, the linebacker went out, like, you should have dominated the game. Get guys open, use your feet. Like, you're paid. My thing is, like I was saying before they signed for that big contract, I would have let him walk because I just wouldn't pay Dak that kind of money. Like, once you pay your quarterback that kind of money, you're kind of stuck in the mud because you can't pay anybody else. And he's just not, to me, he just doesn't have that it factor. Hopefully he proves me wrong next season because our season's over with now. But let's just keep going. So, like, Dak didn't have a good game. Everybody raves about Diggs. And then I had to send my buddy some stats. Like, he's like, there's a reason why he had, and this is my opinion. I'm trying to be like Charles Barkley. Everything I say is like my opinion because I'm no expert. But there's a reason why he has so many interceptions. And the main reason is they throw the ball at him all the time. I think he's like top 5 in the league in targets against. He's given up the most yards in the NFL. So, like, Cowboy fans are like, yeah, Diggs, defensive player of the year, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, man, look, they throw at him. So, yes, great. He had a great season. He had a lot of interceptions. I'm not going to take that away from him. But he was fried on a few plays today. Garoppolo just missed. He's always gambling. So he's given the 5th most touchdowns on the season. He has the most yards on the season. Yes, he has 11 picks. So it's like the good with the bad. But I'd rather to me, it's great to get turnovers. But the best corners in the game, guys aren't even throwing at him. I mean, that's just a fact. So here we are. Another season ends with the Cowboys. McCarthy is just, I mean, he's the head coach, but I don't think he commands the troops, so to speak. I don't think the guys respect him. He doesn't, come off as any type of authority. The team is undisciplined. Like a lot of their penalties today could have been avoided. They were on offense and on defense, like, hands to the face. CD didn't get set on a play. False starts, holding. I mean, it's the playoffs, man. Like, be disciplined. The teams that are disciplined win at this level. They were just able to cakewalk through the regular season because of their district, the division sucks so bad. I mean, when you got the Giants and you got the Redskins, I mean, that's 4-0. Outside of the division, they really struggled. So, again, 26 years without making it to the conference championship game. Jerry Jones is frustrated because the way the roster is built, they're built to win. I mean, Dak has take away Zeke in his ineffectiveness. He's got two great wide receivers in CeeDee Lamb and Amari Cooper. He's got a decent tight end. Zeke, with the line that they have and the weapons they have on the outside, should be able to run the ball. Their defense gets a lot of takeaways. I mean, they have the pieces to have a deep run in the playoffs, and here they are getting knocked out the first round again. And it boiled down to Dak not being able to make throws in key moments. Zeke has zero burst. And they didn't get takeaways. Like the Cowboys this whole season, it's like when they play well, it's because they get takeaways. Or I should say when they win. Or they run the ball very well. Mike McCarthy should be fired. I know this is maybe like a venting thing to say because it's only 4 hours after the loss. But I just don't see how he can, like, clock management, penalties. That's coaching. That boils down to the head coach. They need to go out and get Eric Bieniemy from the Chiefs. Like, go get him. Come on, Jerry. Go get him. And let him lead the Cowboys. I think the biggest issue with finding a head coach for the Cowboys is the arrogance and the ego of Jerry Jones. You know, at the end of the day, the players just walk right by McCarthy if they want change, or if they want something. If they're not happy with their role or whatever it may be, you know, they go straight to Jerry Jones. So McCarthy, yes, he is the head coach, but he doesn't have any juice. So the Cowboys are just going to frustrate us as fans year in, year out until they break through. I think it's going to be more difficult in the next few years because of the money that they're going to be paying to Dak is so much of the salary cap that they're not going to be able to put the pieces around them. I don't think they'll be as good next year. Trayvon Diggs is not going to repeat that 11 interception season. So as you know, when teams have a year but have a lot of turnovers, I mean, like a lot of takeaways. A lot of times the next year they don't have as many. You know, having, 18, 19, 20 takeaways a season is not easy to do. So I don't expect them to be as ball hawking as they were this year. So hopefully the offense improves. The offensive line is aging, so we'll see what they do with that. But all in all, it's a good week for playoff football. Tomorrow night, the Rams and the Cardinals play. Bucks took care of business today. Bills looked amazing last night. So did the Chiefs. The Chiefs look great as well. So, we'll see. I mean, my Cowboys are out. Sucks. But, I mean, it's really what we expect now. I see so many posts of friends of mine on Facebook that are like, hey, where y'all at? And blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, one, who's your team? Just leave it at that. But then two, it's like, I'm the fan that's more realistic. So, yes, I want the Cowboys to win. Yes, I'm rooting for them. No, I don't expect them to win. And they didn't disappoint today. So how to fix the Cowboys? I know it can't happen, but I would love to see if they could trade for Russell Wilson. Can't happen, but I would love to see that. I think Wilson's a better quarterback than Dak. But two, they're going to get a head coach that is a head coach, like a Mike. You can't get Mike Tomlin, but you need somebody that has the personality of a Mike Tomlin. Right? Like McCarthy just looks like a pushover. And if you had Aaron Rodgers for all those years and you only won one Super Bowl, I don't want to hear it. that you're this great head coach. You're not. Kellen Moore, I get it. He's the hot commodity, but look what he looked like today. I mean, they couldn't even move the ball for the majority of the game. So, Cowboy fans, we had a good season. Won the division, came up short in the playoffs this year. Hopefully, we get better next year. We'll see. That's my analysis of the game. It's my analysis of their season. I did pick them. I did a podcast live. I actually did Instagram live where I picked the playoff teams, and Cowboys were picked to win their division, so I got that right. Most of my division winners were actually right. I picked the Chiefs. I picked the Cowboys. I picked the Bucks. I picked the Packers. Picked the Bills. Who else? Yeah, I did pretty good with my picks. But I just wish the Cowboys would have moved on. Until next time, man, be blessed. Keep listening to my podcast. Thank you for the support. I got to get more episodes out sooner. Working on that. Working on that through creating better habits. Read the book Atomic Habits, which is phenomenal, by the way. I advise everybody to read it, and applying some of those things with getting more material out. It's just balancing, life with work, with being a father and a husband, and all those types of things, and then coming up with different content. So in the comments, leave me some things that you might want me to talk about. Then I got to get my guest on. We went through the holiday season, so we made it through that. So now I'm going to get a couple of my guests on to speak and share their stories. Oh, lastly, you should read the Will Smith book. My brother warned me not to start it because it's like you're just not going to stop, and I haven't. It's a great book. I think anybody and everybody should read it. Great job, Will Smith, on your book. I think I'm on like chapter 16. It's when he is playing the role of Muhammad Ali. I'm not going to give you the whole synopsis of the book, but I would check it out if I were you. It's a great book. I advise everybody to check it out. But again, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for the support. Until next time, be blessed. I'm out.